Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Official Rules, a Sweepstakes podcast. I am your host, Jay Victor. Thank you for joining me once again, and Happy New Year's Eve to everybody listening. Hope you've had a wonderful 2024. This is a special New Year's Eve edition of Official Rules, a Sweepstakes podcast. Phone lines are open, sweepstakespodcast at gmail.com. Again, sweepstakespodcast at gmail.com. A lot to go over. A lot of news, a lot of notes, a lot of recaps, some new halls of fame, maybe a top 5. But first, I wanted to sincerely thank all of you who take your time to listen to this podcast. It's a labor of love. It does not make me any money, nor do I think with the reach of this show it ever will, but I do it for the hobby. I do it for the love of sweeping, and it's been a fantastic year for 2024, not only win-wise, but also getting the podcast up and running off the ground and making time to record new episodes. So to everyone who downloads or listens to this podcast on whatever your favorite platform is, be it Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, or Apple Podcast, I would like to sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking your time and listening. And here's to more and better and frequent programming in 2025. It was a great day today. My son and I made the most of it. He is on winter break. He'll be going back for Thursday and Friday, but he helped me take down our Christmas decorations and inflatables. We chopped up a whole bunch of cardboard that we had sitting in the garage. Use the leaf blower to blow out both sides of the garage, make it clean and spotless. We took a run to Goodwill to drop off some stuff that we no longer use, and we put his old nursery furniture out to the curb, to which one of my neighbors, who is having his first grandchild, was nice enough to call me to ask if he could scoop up, and I said, hey, have at it. It's on the curb. It's yours. I can even help you when I get back. But he had his dolly all ready and set and was able to bring it over to his house. So a very productive day at the J. Victor household today, and was very much looking forward to this episode because it's the end of the year. It's the end of the month. I know our very own contest queen, Carolyn Willman, beat me to the punch. And she released a short online, but it is, in fact, delete day. And I didn't do it last year. I've never done it in the years past, but I actually counted up the amount of daily entry sweepstakes that I would be deleting today because it is the end of December, the end of 2024. And I counted 48 daily entries that were deleted this morning. I'm looking at my expanded bookmark tab in Chrome. And from left to right, it's got all my active sweepstakes, my weeklies, my perpetual monthlies. And it goes, without having to click the continue button, it goes into my local news stations. So there is not much left after deleting everything today. As always, a very cathartic, very lovely process that I quite enjoy going through at the end of every month. And I hope you had a good time deleting all of your sweepstakes as well. And there were a lot of them that I was glad to see come to an end. We still have a lot more to carry on, and my sweepstake list carries on through February, March, and April. So there are still some that we're going to work at, but as my New Year's resolution goes, I'm going to take my time and be a little more selective about the sweepstakes that I enter in 2025. I'm going to try to keep a base. I'm going to try to keep an average monthly value based on total prize versus how long the entry period is. And try not to enter every single little sweep that I have, just to kind of save some time, and still trying to obviously hit the big ones whenever I can. But that's going to be my New Year's resolution. So we'll see how that turns out. Hopefully it's going to turn out well. But before we move on to anything else, we got to talk about our TCL Season of More sweepstake. Yes, folks, entry periods 1 through 16 have not gotten us anything. And last week's Thursday night game between the Seahawks and Bears, we were looking for a field goal from either team of 60 yards or more. Unfortunately, the longest one was 50 yards, so we fell 10 yards short. So we are going into the final entry period, and going by the official rules on TCL's rules page, this entry period 17 has dates of January 11th, 12th, and 13th. And being a football fan, that is going to be the NFL's wild card round. And this is another biggie, just like they had during the Raiders and Chiefs game about a month and a half ago. So, for the 11th, 12th, and the 13th of January, we are looking for, in any of the games that happen, teams to be determined, because there's still one more week to play. And just as a heads up, obviously, giving you those dates, there will not be a contest held this Thursday. So we're going to have to wait till January 11th, 12th, and 13th. Teams to be determined. We will be looking for a touchdown of 98 or more yards. So essentially, the ball ending up in the end zone or just barely outside of it, and ran all the way back, a pass from all the way back there, a kickoff or a punt return. It just says a touchdown. So any touchdown that's going to equate to 98 or more yards on the 11th, 12th, and 13th of January will be the equivalent of over $1 million in 98-inch TCL TVs given away at the handsome sum of just under $4,000 each. The quantity will be 251 98-inch TVs. Now, I will say, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, I got a great deal from Costco for Christmas and pre-Christmas presents. I got 3 TVs, 2 55-inch LGs, and a 58-inch TCL for my in-laws. Total with sales tax, $909. But those are not a 98-inch TCL TV, which I would absolutely love to have. Have no idea where I would put it, because it's not going to fit on or above the mantle where our current living room TV is in our little living room. But it would give me more of a reason to try to finish our basement. And because we have a massive wall down there that can use a 98-inch TV. So best of luck. It hasn't been a great year for this sweep. However, it did happen last year. The Jets made it happen with a huge return touchdown. So keep your fingers crossed. Stay positive. Have a positive mindset and hope for it to happen. And then perhaps they will release the beast, and we'll have a chance at all these TVs. Now, the only thing I don't know, and I'll have to take a look, my assumption is you're going to want to enter, you can essentially enter this week, but I'm not 100% sure that will carry over. So I think the best thing to do, because the 11th is going to be a Saturday, I would probably enter the Friday before that on the 10th, just to make sure your entry's in. But certainly best of luck to everybody who enters that contest. And I really hope we can get a long touchdown and get something from these fine folks at TCL. So good luck to everybody who enters that one. The recap for 2024, how did it compare against 2023? I actually had to do the math beforehand, before I started recording the podcast, and this will possibly be another New Year's resolution for me to maybe make a spreadsheet of my wins, because I basically just go by all the emails that I have saved and a little Word document that I put some of the wins on. And I typically, on my Word document, I really only keep track of those wins that are $100 or more. I call it my own personal Hall of Fame. But my emails also tell me when I win a $5, a $10, $20, $30 gift card from certain companies. So without getting any other wins within the next couple weeks or so, it looks like 2024 is going to end up with a retail value of $5,147 worth of wins, which is $500 more than last year. So we can equate that more than likely to the $500 Venmo win from Venmo, which was $500 in cash, which got me over last year's number. And obviously here's hoping to 2025 surpassing that as well. I had mentioned our very own contest queen, Carolyn Willman, mentioning Delete Day. What are your thoughts? Email me at sweepstakespodcast@gmail.com. How do you keep track of yours? What are your feelings about deleting everything at the end of the year? Do you feel bored at the beginning of the year? Is it a relief that you have less to do and you can relax? Are you always full bore into sweepstakes and could care less whether you have a lot or little to do, or you're just always looking to do 100, 200, 300 a day? Let me know. I would be definitely curious. But like I said, in my opinion, it's always nice, the same way I cleaned out the garage and cleaned up the Christmas decorations with my son. I like cleaning out my sweepstakes file and making sure that we're ready to go for another month. And in this case, another year of sweepstakes and hopefully some big wins coming towards us as well. I'd like to thank the sponsors as well. Obviously, it goes without saying, because without companies that offer up these prizes and packages, it wouldn't really equate to much. We wouldn't have a hobby. So obviously, for the opportunities, thank you, TCL, for at least giving everybody a shot at these millions of dollars worth of TVs, but also to the companies that I won prizes from, which would be my BP gas cards, Wheatley vodka for the tickets to SmackDown, DoorDash for the gift cards and hoodie, Gatorade for the mini fridge. That was a belated Christmas present for my son, but it came in a fantastic Las Vegas Raiders NFL branded and Muscle Milk branded countertop fridge that he'll be keeping in his room. So he's very excited. Corona especially, it seems like every year I have multiple wins from Corona, but they got those great Red Sox tickets for me and my family this year. Venmo, of course, for just straight up $500 in cash. And, all the other beer companies, whether it be Corona, Dos Equis, Modelo, Coors, Bud Light, Budweiser, for all the small stuff, the bottle openers, the towels, the water bottles, everything like that. Pepsi for a $100 gift card that recently made it our way. And just so I'm not biased, Coke as well for a bunch of little gift cards that we got. It was a great, and Blue Moon, of course. How can I forget about Blue Moon? I do great with them as well, and one of my favorite beers. It's really great to have these companies, even if it's for marketing purposes, make these prizes available and keep this hobby going for myself, for you guys and everybody out there who may want to get into this hobby. Now, do sweepers get a bad name, or obviously do people look at you funny when you mention what you have for a hobby? Of course, but maybe that's the same way someone would look at someone who collects baseball cards or has a sneaker collection or collects currency or spoons or Beanie Babies or anything like that. I'm dating myself because I don't think people have collected Beanie Babies for 25 years, but my wife still has some of hers from back in the day when we were dating. But thank you to all the companies out there that make these sweeps possible. It's super fun, and it's even way more fun when you win. But here's to everybody. Good luck in 2025. I wish everybody out there, whether you listen to the podcast or not, much luck. I hope 2025 not only brings you lots of wealth, but more importantly, brings you good health and good times with you and yours. That being said, we will get into the final top 5 list for 2024. And this one I did a little bit differently. Starting off at number 5. And I thought this one was super interesting. And I'll give you a little more information on it. But coming in at number 5, the Bunky Life Sprucewood Lodge Sweepstakes. So, what you're looking to win here is a small cabin with a loft that has a retail value just under $22,000. This looks like a company from Canada, I believe Ontario. So Carolyn, Ms. Contest Queen, I'm sure you've already entered this one, but it's a one-time entry. It's a one and done. It's running from the 27th until the 26th of next month in January. And it's open to all of our friends in the 50 United States, except void in South Carolina, Louisiana, Virginia, and Washington. It is open to D.C., Canada, except voided in Quebec, obviously, who have reached the age of majority. But this is straight up a cabin with a loft. Now, this ends up at number 5 because I love the idea of this type of cabin. But keeping up with my resolution for 2025, I'm actually not entering this contest for a couple reasons. A, I literally have nowhere to put this thing. The only option I have would be my in-laws' yard because they have a lot of space, but I would never put that on them to say, hey, can I build a cabin on your property? That would be a little odd. Number 2, it's the materials. So the sponsor will do a video consultation while you're assembling it with either a professional, a friend, a father-in-law, a family member, a buddy, whatever. But it does not include the putting together of said cabin, nor, and I read in the rules, it doesn't include the shipping of those building materials. So the retail value starting off is $22,000. You're going to have to pay for shipping, which is it's going to be, I have to assume, several hundred or maybe a couple $1,000s to get that shipped. Some kind of bulk freight. I have no idea. You have to have the room for it. And then you got to be pretty handy because you're either going to have to put it together yourself, or at the very worst, you're going to hire a carpenter, which I don't know what the going rate is to put together a cabin, but I have to imagine at minimum they're going to charge you what, $5,000, $10,000? I don't know. But I'll leave the link for this sweepstakes. Go to their page. The cabin itself is adorable. I mean, I would, if I had room for it, it would be my perfect man cave. You got downstairs and then you got a loft to get away. It's just absolutely awesome looking. But I'm not entering it. So there's nothing that says that a sweep that ends up on the top 5 is something I have to enter. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people out there interested in this sweep, and people that have a lot of room or maybe have vacant land somewhere that, they could use a cabin or replace a cabin, or are much more handier in carpentry than I am, which is probably 99.9% of the population. So good luck to everybody who enters that one. That comes in at number 5 on this week's top 5. And coming in at number 4, I thought this one was interesting because I just bought a dishwasher not too long ago, and I have a feeling my other appliances are going to start failing me. But the Sears Home Services Deck the Kitchen Kenmore giveaway, Kenmore being a great brand, you're going to win a set of 12 kitchen appliances and kitchen essentials. The retail value is just under $4,000. It's a single entry, one and done, and it's open to our friends in the 48 contiguous United States and DC. I'm sorry to our friends in Hawaii and our friend Lori in Alaska. This one will not apply to you, but this one is running from November 25th, and it ends today. So get that entry in. You are looking at a refrigerator, a range, a countertop microwave, a dishwasher, a toaster, a blender, a stand mixer, an air fryer, a griddle, a cookware set, a cutting board, a knife set, and a partridge in a pear tree. Total retail value just under $4,000 on this one. So if your appliances are old, or you just got a new place, or the place you got has appliances that are 30 years old, I wish you the best when entering in this one. It's nice to see that Sears is still around. They closed the one in the mall by where I live, and I honestly can't remember the last time I stepped foot into Sears. But it's like everything else. You don't know what you have until it's gone. So thank you, Sears, for making this sweep available. The Sears Home Services Deck the Kitchen Kenmore giveaway ends today. Get your entries in. Number 3 on this week's top 5, the Valpak 2025 So Adorable Puppy Bowl Sweepstakes. Easy peasy, $10,000 check to the winner, open to all of our friends in the 50 United States and DC, ages 18 and older, who have reached the age of majority. This is running from December 29th till February 6th, so you're going to have to put some time in on this one. It's going to be a little bit more than a month. It is a daily sweep. I haven't talked to or met anyone who has won a Valpak sweep. My assumption is that they are 100% legit because I know the company's legit. I've been seeing and using Valpak since I was a kid. I remember those blue envelopes in the mail every 2 weeks. So good luck to everybody who enters the Valpak 2025 Puppy Bowl sweepstakes, and check out the Puppy Bowl when you have a chance during the Super Bowl. Absolutely adorable puppies. Coming in at number 2, and this is an interesting one, the Moneyline Beast Games giveaway. 1,000 winners are going to get $1,000 cash, plus 7 winners will split $3.2 million in prize money. Now, You do need a MoneyLion account. I already set mine up. It's free. It's an app that you download, and you basically have to log in. And I log in early, and sometimes the app is not working, so I have to take a better look at it, because if I enter it in the early morning when I'm doing my sweepstakes, in some cases, it just doesn't take you to the website and doesn't let you log in. And then when you try it later on the day, it'll get you in, but then it says, oh yeah, put in a PIN number. Well, I've already put in a PIN number. Oh, add this information. So I'm not quite sure if the app is a little bit buggy or what's going on, but I'll keep on trucking, as they say, with that app. So basically, when you get in every day and you're fully logged in and you see Mr. Beast at the top, you just scroll all the way to the bottom and click on Mr. Beast so you can open the Beast bonus briefcase. And this is a daily entry. It's open to all of our friends in the 50 United States, including DC, who are ages 18 and older. This one is running from December 19th till November 27th, 2025. So it's going to be just under a year. Now, normally I would not enter something that has such a long entry period, but you're looking at 1,000 winners getting $1,000 that'll be deposited into your MoneyLion account, and then 7 winners are going to split up that $3.2 million. So in regards to the length of this contest, similar to the Fiat Chrysler automobile one that happens every year, that's a year-long process for, up to a $100,000 vehicle. This one gets a pass. So you got to put your time in, but obviously if you log in every day, if you're a sweeper that does daily sweepstakes, put it on your list, and we'll see where we end up next November 27th, and best of luck to everybody who enters that contest as well. And to throw you folks a curveball, coming in at number 1 on this week's top 5 and the final top 5 of 2024, this is not a new sweep, but it is something that I miss, something that is a passion of mine, and something that has been going on literally since 2006. You can pause this podcast if you want to think or maybe guess what I'm talking about. But without any further ado, number 1 is the McDermott free pool cue giveaway. I used to be in a pool league before children and before work and jobs, take up a lot of your time. But McDermott, every month in, month out, since 2006, has given away a pool cue. Now, I have not won said pool cue, but I will continue entering. And this is obviously a perpetual sweepstakes. And I have a section of those on my browser, as a matter of fact. And there's a few of them that I do. And it goes along with, the LG and Frito-Lay monthly contest. And there's just some that run every month. But if you enjoy playing pool, whether you play 8-ball, 9-ball, carom billiards, snooker, what have you, if you've ever held a McDermott handcrafted pool cue, they have a fantastic quality cue, especially for people that are in the know. If you play pool even on a semi-regular basis, if you have your own cue, if you're blessed enough to have a McDermott cue, they just make a fantastic product. And I wanted to give a chance to maybe something that is not a new sweep. This is, again, a perpetual sweep that they do every month, and they've been doing every month since 2006. They paused after 2014 and brought it back in 2022. But, good for McDermott for A, making such a high quality product, and B, just giving away a pool stick, a pool cue every month. It's great stuff. And that's going to wrap it up for 2024, folks. Once again, I thank you for joining me on this journey. I wish you the best of wealth, the best of health, the best to you and your families in this upcoming 2025 new year. My name is Jay Victor. This is the Official Rules Sweepstakes podcast, signing off for 2024. Have a great new year.
This has been a father and son production.